Hello my dear students. Hello everyone. So today's video will be kind of discussing with the subaerial stem modifications. So I already started with my previous two videos where I started with stem modifications. We have already completed underground and aerial stem modifications. So in today's today's session, we will discuss subaerial stem modifications. As the name suggests, the meaning of subaerial is it is partly aerial, partly underground. So depending upon the habitat of the plant, it may be partly aerial, partly underground. Suppose if it is an aquatic plant, then it will be partly inside water and partly outside water. And if it is a terrestrial plant, it will be partly inside the soil and partly outside. That is the subaerial stem. And another feature of subaerial stems are all subaerial stems are meant for vegetative propagation. They help in vegetative propagation. And we have four types of stem modifications: runner, stolon, suckers and offsets. So these we are going to discuss one by one. So first let us start with a runner. So runner, first thing, a stem grows horizontally. Here I am going to give a diagrammatic explanation also how we can understand a runner. So runner is, here the stem grows horizontally and spread to new niches. Niches means new directions. And so if we observe the, I hope you are able to see, if we observe the runner here, if we observe the runner, the main stem will grow horizontally, and at some places it will be showing a tuft of adventitious roots, and exactly the same place it will be showing the leaves. So in this way the main stem will grow horizontally, and at certain places it will give the leaves, a group of leaves and the adventitious roots. So roots and leaves are formed. So therefore this runner is also described as, it is the stem which is rooted at each node. Rooted at each node. That's how we can describe a runner also, because at every place we find the roots are arising and also the leaves are arising. Stem will grow horizontally. It may show different branches in different directions, and then these branches will develop and then it will establish itself in the soil, developing adventitious roots. And as the stem is growing in different directions, the older parts of the stem will die, and whichever is the new part, suppose this is the new part, this will survive. This older part will die, and this new part now develop into a new plant. So here we can see develop into new niches and older parts will die. So examples here I have given you as two categories: underground runners like grasses and strawberry. This is as I am taking example as given in NCERT, so that the students will not have any confusion. So underground runner means completely the runner, the stem will be completely inside the soil. That is called as underground runner. Only a part of it, a very superficial part will come out. Like for example, grasses and in strawberry. Next, subaerial runner, like in case of oxalis. Like here I have shown the diagram of oxalis. So this is subaerial. Here partly it will be inside, partly outside. Underground runner will be completely inside. That means it will not grow very deep, but it will be just below the surface of soil. That is about the runner. Now next we can see, next is stolons. Next aerial stem modifications are stolons. So stolon, it is a slender lateral branch, arises from the base of the stem and grow obliquely downwards, develop adventitious roots. Like for example in case of nerium and jasmine. So the diagrammatically, if we take the stolon, so stolon will have, say this is the normal adventitious roots are present, and the branches will arise from the almost from the surface of soil, and some of the branches will grow obliquely downwards, and they bend and come, they touch the soil. Wherever they touch the soil, they develop adventitious roots. So this obliquely growing branch, this branch which comes out and grows down, obliquely growing, this is called as a stolon. It is called as a stolon. So stolon is also useful in vegetative propagation. So when this is cut off from the main stem, this part which is already developed roots, it will start developing even leaves also, and then this plant can grow independently. This principle of stolon is used in one of the very important method of vegetative propagation, that is called as a layering. Layering is a method of vegetative propagation where the stolon principle is used. It is a horticultural method. So what is done here? Artificially, the branches are made to touch the soil, and this part which is touching the soil, that is covered by the mud. So therefore, once it starts developing adventitious root, this which is bent, this part will be cut off from the main plant. So here stolon principle is used. So examples we have seen already, Miriam and Jasmine. Okay, now the next one is sucker. Sucker and stolon are almost similar, but with respect to the growth they may be different. So sucker will be defined as a lateral branch which arises from lower underground stem and grow horizontal and obliquely upwards and produce leafy shoots. So like for example, we find this in chrysanthemum. So again, diagrammatically if we observe in case of chrysanthemum, a part of the main stem, this part will develop the leaves, it will develop, and some part will be growing below. Some part of the stem will grow below the soil, and here it will develop its roots, and a branch will develop first horizontally, which grows horizontally in the soil. This branch will now start growing obliquely upwards. It is start growing obliquely. First it grows horizontally, then it starts growing obliquely upwards. Once it comes to the surface of the soil, touches the soil, then it starts developing adventitious roots, and then it will develop the new plant. So what is the stolon here is this obliquely growing branch which is growing upwards. This can be called as a sucker. It is called as a sucker. Now this is cut off from the main plant. This plant can grow independently. Like we have the examples of pineapple, banana, chrysanthemum. We can add the examples of aloe vera also. All of you know very well about this aloe vera plant. So this also propagates by suckers. Banana also has suckers. Banana also has rhizome. So both rhizome and suckers are found in banana. Okay, now the last part, last subaerial stem modification, that is offsets. Offsets are mainly found in aquatic plants. They are found in aquatic plants, hydrophytes, like for example in Pistia and Eichhornia. So what is offset and how does it grow? What is the meaning of offset? So here the stem will be growing. It is discoid, as we have seen here. The stem will be discoid in shape, and stem will be discoid, and a rosette of leaves will appear and tuft of roots will develop at the base of the stem. So here we will see the diagram. So first we will see the stem here. Stem will be disc shaped. This is the stem, disc shaped. So to this disc shaped stem, first a tuft of roots will arise at the base. roots will arise at the base, and at the top a rosette of leaves. Rosette means like closed, like this circular arrangement. They appear as the petals of a rose, and they appear as a flower. Similarly here, suppose there is another stem, same thing, this also will grow, will develop a tuft of roots at the top, and it will also develop a rosette of leaves. Now, these two will be connected with the help of a horizontally growing branch. This branch is called as offset. This branch is called as a offset. Now, how will this offset grow? The offset grows from the axillary bud of each leaf. Each leaf will give out an axillary bud. At the tip of this offset, it will again develop a discoid stem. So this stem is disc-like. This is a discoid stem. It is a disc-like stem, flattened disc-like. And these are the adventitious roots. Adventitious roots are developed here. So each axillary bud will develop this horizontally growing branch and lateral branch. We are calling it as a lateral branch. That means it grows from axillary bud. And at its tip, again it develops a discoid stem. This discoid stem will develop a group of adventitious roots and a group of rosette-like leaves. The meaning of rosette-like leaves is they are arranged like a petals of a rose. So when this offset breaks, these two plants can grow independently, like we have seen in the example of Pistia and Iconia, and the length of this offset is considered to be one internode length. Why it is one internode length? Why we call it as one internode length is, here it is between two nodes. This is considered to be a node where many leaves are present. Similarly, this is also a node. So between the two nodes, so this is considered to be of one internode length. And offset also is useful in vegetative propagation. Mainly it is found in the such aquatic, and these are which type of hydrophytes? Pistia and Eichhornia are free floating hydrophytes. So that is about the different types of subaerial modifications. So here we have seen that all subaerial modifications are useful in vegetative propagation. So here for all stem modifications, if you have to learn, we can summarize it. Like summary for everything is very important. Suppose you have to remember the examples. First write it in a tabular form and then write down all the examples. So that is the best way to learn it. So if you have to summarize this, we can start this way. Suppose we are starting with the stem modifications. So how many types we have done? We have done the 3 types of stem modifications. So write that way. First one is underground stem modifications. So below that you are going to write the examples. So what are examples of underground stem we have done? We have done the underground stem. Again we have done here different types. We have done 4 different types of underground stem modifications. What are 4 different types we have done? Rhizome, and then we have done corm, then tuber, stem tuber, and then we have done bulb. So rhizome, corm, stem tuber and bulb. Then write the example against it. What is the example of rhizome? We have done ginger and turmeric. Ginger and turmeric, that is the stem we have done. And then corm example. Corm, what is the example we have done is colocasia and amorphophallus. Amorphophallus and colocasia. Amorphophallus and colocasia. Similarly, tuber, we have done the example of potato, that is tuber. Bulb, example of allium cepa, that is onion. We have done the example. So this way all underground stems you can write. Similarly, aerial stem modifications. So here you can write the different aerial stem modifications. So under aerial stem modifications, we have tendrils, thorns, and then phylloclades. Mainly three are given. And then cladodes. So tendrils, thorns, phylloclades, and cladodes. So here you can give the examples. Similarly, subaerial modifications, we have done 4 types in subaerial modifications: runner, stolen, sucker, and offset. So runner, we have given the examples of how many? Two examples: grasses, strawberry, and oxalis. And then stolons, nerium, and jasmine. So that way, if you prepare all this in one place, easily you can study. So with this we conclude the video. So next time I will give you some more tips how to remember the examples. So I will make a flow chart having all the root and stem modifications in one place, and then so that easily you can revise the example. So I'm going to make root, stem, and leaf modifications. So this is just an idea I have given students. So in my next video, after completing leaf modifications also, I'm going to give you a complete example chart in my separate video. I think that will be more helpful, and you can note it down also. Okay, so that's all for now. Thank you very much for listening. Another my sincere request is you please share my video, share the link to all all NEET aspirants, those who want to write NEET 2024. This will be very useful videos, and it's my passion to teach. So that's why you are getting all the videos free of cost. And here you have to just click a button. You are not paying anything. You have to just click a button and then subscribe, so that you will be able to see all the videos. And of course your suggestions or your doubts or any other from your side, always I welcome. So thank you very much.